Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Happy to have you here. You've made it to the end of the work week. It doesn't look exactly the same way it did yesterday morning because I see some green on my screen. Well, what am I looking at? I'm looking at a couple of scattered showers. In fact, that's what's already started to move across parts of the area. Not necessarily heavy, but I want to show you that a little bit closer up. The Ultimate Doppler Radar, presented by Madlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, East Tennessee's #1 tire shop and auto repair since 1953. I'll talk more about them in a moment, but I want to show you where the rain is affecting areas in Union County, particularly around Maynardville. You can see areas around Tazewell, just northwest of Jefferson City, over toward Rutledge, along 11W. We have a couple of showers there. Also back toward Clinton. If we slide southwestward down toward Oak Ridge, at least south of Oak Ridge, a couple of showers there just north of Bradbury at the moment, and a couple of showers between, say, maybe Knoxville, south of Bearden, and Rocky Hill. Some light rain affecting some areas here. So not terribly heavy, and nor do we expect it to be that heavy today. I think it'll just be a slow, gradual process as we'll pick up in the intensity factor, if not later tonight, certainly on Saturday and Saturday night. By the way, I mentioned Madlock Tire Service Auto Repair. They've been around since 1953. If you need an oil change, maybe you need a new set of tires, they do alignments, they do brakes, they do tire rotations, tire repair, and so much more. Check them out. They've got 5 convenient locations, including Knoxville, Maryville. They're also located in Lenoir City, in Loudoun County, then Athens, in McMinn County, and lastly, Hardin Valley. So check them out. You can go to madlocktireservice.com, set up your own appointment, and make it more easier on your schedule. That link is at the top of this Facebook post. By the way, as we take a look at the bigger picture, it's like a receiving line. Oh yes, well it's not exactly a wedding, but it's rain showers. Yes, we talked about the drought monitor last night. We are not under a drought anymore in Knox County. There's some dry areas, particularly in the plateau. Some areas between Crossville, Jamestown are still under a moderate drought. So every drop of rain there, I'm sure, will be well received. But this is all going to kind of move in this direction through the course of today. I think this picture tells a lot. And you can see it's still snowing across parts of the upper plain states into parts of the Dakotas. Minnesota's got some scattered snow showers up there, and even into parts of New England, and even back toward Colorado. But if you're on the call, I want to say good morning to you. It is Friday, and because it's Friday, I think everybody's happy, maybe a good mood. You woke up this morning, maybe said, oh yes, it's almost the weekend. But the weekend will include more rain, so the umbrella will get some good use. By the way, I'm watching the radar here. I'm watching what you have to say on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, leave me a comment. I will give you a shout out. Popping over to Facebook as we go. I got Dawn Coleman. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 flakes. That may be all we see on Monday night. Just a few 11. I think it's going to be that horseshoe effect, but it will be maybe a change in the pattern that some will be welcoming as we head into Monday night. I'll talk about that more in detail, Dawn. Thank you for being here. Melissa Sills, one of my premium members, says light sprinkles this morning. And Stephen Snyder also saying good Friday morning, feels like spring outside here. Fred saying it's going to be a soggy weekend. That it is. It is definitely going to be a soggy weekend. But I get ahead of myself because while rain is part of the story, we also want to talk about Valentine's Day down the road because we're running out of time, fellas, to find out, well, what are we going to do? Am I going to get a dinner reservation? Am I just going to do the flowers? What am I going to do? I'm right there with you, still trying to figure out what's the best way to approach this Valentine's Day. Anyway, temperatures from the macro view tell quite the story, right? If you look at Knoxville, which is currently McGee-Tyson 46, and you compare and contrast that to Nashville, they're at 53. All you have to do is follow the red arrows. Follow the yellow brick road? No, follow the red arrows because that's all the warm air advection. The transport of air coming up from the south, from Mississippi, Alabama, and headed northward. So temperatures today may struggle to get to 57, but I will say this, it will be warmer tomorrow. I suspect we'll be in the mid-60s on Saturday. So some interesting things to see here as far as the temperatures. We'll be watching this very closely. 46, Johnson City. And again, had maybe some issues with my data, so I'll have to do some approximating. But I do know that we're at 46 degrees in Knoxville. Let's see if we can move the next map there. There were some blank spots there. I said, where did my data go? I could suggest to you that if you're in Oneida, you're around 48. Jacksboro, 47. If you're in Middlesboro, about 44. Morristown, just based on the coloring and the what we call isotherms, so to speak. The temperatures around Greenville, 45. 46 in Sevierville. 51 approximate there in Madisonville, Tellico Plains, and Athens, about 47. So again, maybe having some data collection problems, but we'll fix that, I'm sure, in the coming hours. By the way, as we can see, these temperatures are a lot milder now than they were this time yesterday, because yesterday we started the day at 32 degrees, and there may be a touch of low visibility around 5 miles in Oak Ridge, given the low clouds. Winds aren't much of a factor today. I suspect they'll be about 3 to 8, and that pretty much lines up with what's on the map right now. Most of us are under 10 miles per hour. Now, you might be crying today because, I don't know, because it's raining. Maybe these are tears. I couldn't figure out the best emoji today, so I'll just make it look like it's raining, so I've got tears, and maybe someone's mascara might be raining. I don't know. 7:30 is when the sun comes up. Probably won't see much of that, nor would we see much of the sunset. That occurs at 6:11. And I want to mention to you, bus stop forecast. Get you out the door, and then we'll pause here a moment as I look at today's forecast. But the bus stop should take us up to, it's not going to move that fast, upper 40s by 10, low to mid 50s by 2 o'clock. So if you're picking up your kiddos between 2 and 3:30, should be around 54 degrees with more rain showers on the increase. But I expect temperatures will be a little milder to the south, 61 Tellico Plains, but 57 in Knoxville, 56 Oak Ridge, and 57 in La Follette. Good morning to you once again. I did say I do have a shout out to anyone on YouTube, and if anyone is on YouTube, I will do that. No comments yet. Interesting, but someone might be watching later, so we'll give you still time to pop in on there. Wanda Poe says this has been a wild weather season so far. Get ready for more. David says thank you for that, Wanda. And Kathy Duty says good morning. Greg LaRue says please keep the Blount County Sheriff's Office and the families of the officers in your thoughts and prayers after the tragic shooting last night. Yes, I thank you for pointing that out, Greg. Definitely prayers to those who are all in law enforcement. And then Fred says pray for Blount County. Mary Morgan says good morning, David and family. So a lot to take in on a Friday, certainly with the weather that's going to be changing. Today I did lower the chance of rain back to 60%. It's kind of like a ebb and flow. I think if we increase the chance of rain on Saturday night, that will be expected. And we're going to get more into the raindrops here in just a moment. It is now 6:47. By far and away, we're just tracking clouds on this image. All the thicker clouds in blue are actually eclipsed by the colder cloud tops in yellow. So we've got a pretty thick deck of clouds that are overhead, and some of these clouds, as we saw, are in fact leaking. Now we throw on some rain on top of this, and you can see it is like a receiving line as showers exist back toward Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and we got rain showers back toward Memphis in West Tennessee, and they're all headed in this direction. Won't be necessarily heavy today, but they will be periodic. So headlines, rainy at times to end this week. Snowflakes late Monday night, probably not too many flakes. This is, again, the horseshoe effect. So that means if you're in Knoxville, like, oh, man, that's nothing. Yeah, pretty much nothing. Nothing to expect in Knoxville. But if you're in Crossville, if you're in La Follette, if you're in southeast Kentucky or in Harlan County, you might say, hey, did you know it's snowing in my town? It very well may do that late Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's a possibility. And certainly the Smokies have the best chance of getting a few flakes in that configuration that we call affectionately the horseshoe effect. Nothing magical, has everything to do with temperature, where it's colder, and elevation. Where it's higher, they're going to have some snowflakes, I think, late Monday night. But more sunshine will return on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, of course, is Valentine's Day. Okay, future rainfall. Before I get to this, I want to get back to my notes. Yesterday, because I'm a note taker, yesterday we hit 60 as expected. 32 was the morning low, because obviously with the 40s now, it feels pretty balmy now compared to yesterday morning. Normal high is 51, normal low is 32. For today, the record low today was 0 from 1895, if you're a record like a history buff. And the sun, as I mentioned, goes down at 6:11 this evening. So if you're making plans, make sure you pack the umbrella, because even some thunder may be on the increase as we head into tonight. Meanwhile, let me show you the timeline. I've got not one, two of these slides I want to show you because they're so vastly different. So if we picked up, and last I checked, I believe we've had, 0.01 at the airport. So this is suggesting that we're kind of in that, in keeping with that amount of rain that's fallen so far. I'll double check here as I talk to you. But yeah, this is 0.01 is all that's fallen at McGee Tyson, which is indicative of what Maryville was showing. By 5 o'clock, the amounts are not that impressive. Yes, everybody has a chance for some rain today, but you'll notice we picked up maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain on this model. And I want to show you two of them because they're so vastly different. One's very heavy. This is on the lighter side. And if it's a blend of the two, it might be good to take that into your mental consideration. By 5 o'clock Saturday, it suggests about 1/4 inch has fallen in total by that point of time frame. It really starts to pick up Saturday night, Sunday morning, and by then some may have already had 2 inches of rain in yellow. closer to an inch on this model in Knoxville. By 8 o'clock Sunday morning, much of this will shut down. How do you know? Because if I move the clock from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., there's not much movement. There's not much more additional movement on the rain gauges projected here. But once we move into Sunday night, well, there it goes again. There it starts to fill back in. The yellow areas expand, and by the time we hit Monday night, many of us have picked up over 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Now, this is slide number 1. This is the low amount, right? I'm going to show you another one that goes way on the other side. Maybe it's which one's right. We'll have to wait and see. But if you take a blend of it, you're probably in that 2.5 to 3 plus. 2.5 to 3 plus. You need more evidence for that. Let me show you slide number 2, because this will be more telling, I think, as we move through the rest of the afternoon. Here's 5 o'clock. They're pretty consistent, about 1/10, perhaps in Knoxville by the end of today, at least the end of the business day. Once we move into tonight, it starts to fill back in. So it picks up, and by this point, 5 o'clock Saturday, many of us have over 1 inch. And then so it goes. Then it gets crazy rainy. Look at that. Now, I'm not saying this is going to verify, but I will tell you this, the potential is there. By this point, it's showing 3.8 cumulative in Oak Ridge, 3.6 in Knoxville by 5 o'clock Sunday. And then we move into Monday, we add a little bit more. So I just caution you that flooding may be a concern in a few counties. So this is one of those situations, and if this were a snow forecast, can you imagine? Wow, what? Is it going to be this or going to be that? People don't really care if it's going to be this amount of rain or this amount of rain. But if it's your weekend and it affects your outdoor plans, you're going to want the umbrella. I do think we'll probably find closer to 2.5 to 3 plus, certainly across the board before the weekend is through. And there it shows over 4 by 5 o'clock on Monday, and maybe 4.6 by 11 o'clock Monday. So this model might be swinging for the fences, so to speak, but the potential for heavy rain is on the table. Currently, it is now 6:51 in the morning. Covered a lot of the rain here for good reason, but the temperatures vary from 59 in Memphis to 46 in Knoxville. They have dropped to 10 in Caribou. We have a cold air alert for Caribou. They're at 10 degrees right now. And some of those purple areas are, in fact, single digits. All you need evidence for that is take the Captain Accurate weather app on the map and zoom in, and you can tap on it, and you'll see that those purple areas do, in fact, represent single-digit temperatures. My question to you, I posed this question back on Monday, the 29th of January, about 11 days ago. I posted this on social media. It was not well received by some. I think Team Snow loved it, but not a whole lot of Team Spring fans on the 29th of January were happy about this. But this little animation was seen 17,000 times. Now, it's probably on a loop, but it did get a lot of play on the 29th of January, but then I posted it again on the 3rd of February. And at that point, it got played 76,000 times. So I know people have heard my message. I know it's getting out there. Winter will come back, and cold air will return in chunks. It'll come back in stages, and it will last likely well into March. In fact, our friends from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows a lot of blue in East Tennessee. That means from the 17th of February to the 23rd of February should be well below normal. That's not just me saying it. It's our friends at NOAA, and it's even colder relative to averages in Atlanta and the Carolinas. So that's just, again, an outlook, but I think it's consistent with what I'm seeing. A return to winter will eventually come. And if you need more evidence of that, the warm colors are replaced by Monday night to some colder air. Look at that little spin. Oh, isn't that interesting? Not at 8:45 in the evening, it's not, but in the wee hours of Tuesday morning, it suddenly gets a lot colder. And that means more horseshoe snowflakes for the Smokies Plateau and to a lesser extent southeast Kentucky. But I will say this. Once we see this change, the colder air in purple moves from Montreal, Winnipeg, Minneapolis, and eventually it comes back down here. As you can see pretty well graphically, the cold air in light blue and white is very cold, cold enough to produce snow aloft, but that cold purple air keeps on wanting to come down from Rapid City to Winnipeg, so we'll be watching that in the days to come. Now, I want to show you the snow potential because this is a crowd pleaser. Show me the snow. This is all new snow, mind you. Takes it all the way into Texas, even in Mexico. Think about that. Snow in Mexico. Yep, it suggests that, and it suggests some very heavy snows in the mid-Atlantic, but again, until the models figure this out, and they haven't quite figured it out yet, I think Knoxville's still on the table for some good snows before winter is through. By the way, northeast winds at 5 makes it feel like 44. I guess the wind chill is probably not that pertinent at this morning, but it is 46 degrees at McGee-Tyson Airport. Here's my valley planner. I want to stop and get some of your comments. Rain showers today, cloudy today, and maybe, just maybe, a few rumbles of thunder that may pick up toward the drive home and into the drive or into the evening when we get a little more rain on the way. But 57 is my expectation. Good morning to you. Watching the radar, watching the maps, watching what you have to say. Darcy says, gave a blessed weekend. Thank you. Team Snow is here. Melanie Weber Hatfield. Melanie, good to have you here. Glad you left a comment. Linda Rice says, good morning, David. Have a great weekend. Glad to have Linda here on Facebook. And I see Wanda Poe leaving a comment. She says, keep David's weather app ready to keep you updated. Absolutely. Get the updates. And if you are on YouTube, as I pop back on here, Michael Hawk. Good to see you, Michael. Michael, I can trust, will post a comment in YouTube, so I love expanding the platform. So if you prefer that platform, it's there at your convenience, both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. By the way, as we look at the planner, not as warm as it was yesterday. Yesterday we hit 60. Today we'll struggle to get to 57 in many valley locations. As I mentioned a moment ago, it should be a little warmer in the southern valley. Now, precipitation chances, kind of modifying the little parade of showers. We'll leave it as a 60%, but I think you're certainly in that 80 percentile range for Saturday night. A little bit of a pullback after, say, 9 a.m. So if you're headed to church services on Sunday, it should be dry. And then it picks back up Sunday night and goes back into Monday night, and then it changes over to maybe a few flakes on its exit. Meanwhile, the Storm Prediction Center are actually highlighting some yellow areas in the coming days. So what does that mean? That means scattered severe storms are possible in yellow, but you don't see that on this map. You see dark green. So these are the areas that could see isolated severe storms, and that includes parts of Arkansas, into southeastern sections of Missouri, and into West Tennessee, just around Memphis, and up toward maybe western parts of Kentucky. General thunderstorms are possible today and tonight, and that's why the Storm Prediction Center labels us as that light green. Now, on Saturday, that chance for some isolated severe storms picks back up in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, if you have family there, perhaps Victoria, Texas, but nothing, by their account, for severe weather or thunderstorms on Saturday. I think that may be still yet to be determined. I think the stronger storms are certainly well south of us on Sunday. As you can see, the yellow areas have now been placed in parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and East Texas. So areas around Jackson, Mississippi, and Monroe, Louisiana, some scattered severe storms. And if you have family in Baton Rouge, Houston, or just southeast of Dallas, they may find some isolated severe storms there on Sunday. It is now 6:57. I'm going to finish on time, but I like the Futurecast to show you the macro view and also a closer view using different set of equations. I'm going to show you two different models, but this shows you how the rain kind of parades in here. There's 8 o'clock. There's noontime. You see how it stops a little bit? Then wants to come back, perhaps, if not at 5. Certainly later tonight, there will come more showers as the front begins to approach. So that's about 5:15 Saturday morning. Fills back in there at 7. A little rainy at times, right through lunchtime tomorrow. And then it really starts to fire back up as the front stalls. 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon, evening. And boy, does it turn heavy Saturday night. I thought the rain was supposed to be less on Sunday. It will be, probably after 9 a.m. because the front will be moving to the east. And so most of the day on Sunday, I think, will be rain-free. It will come back Sunday night as it's kind of like bookends. And then we see this little system bring in more snow in Missouri and possibly even some snowflakes of that horseshoe variety late Monday night and into Tuesday. That's my expectation. Now, here's our Futurecast. This shows more rain, probably a different look at it. Temperatures, pick out your favorite town. You can see by about noontime, there could be a little downpour in red, yellow, moderate rain around Wartburg and Kingston at lunchtime. Temperatures will rise into the mid-50s. About 57 is my expectation for Knoxville. But again, the rain will not be steady, but it will be periodic. And then we move into tonight. Maybe some dry spots during the evening hours. By 10 o'clock, it may pick up in spots with some thunderstorms in red. That's 6 o'clock Saturday morning. There's 7. And yes, and so it goes. And so the rain will be part of the equation going right into Saturday night, as it may get particularly heavy, I think, certainly by Saturday night. There's 11 p.m. coming up from the southwest, Athens, Tellico Plains, and it kind of fills in like so. So it will be a little bit unsettled, to say the least, for both weekend days. I think the drier time will be midday on Sunday. Now today, 57 degrees. It is now 6:59. I'm finishing on time. Cloudy, showers, rumbles of thunder, certainly a possibility. High temperatures in La Follette, 57 is what I expect. If you're in Bell County, Harlan County, Crater City, Middlesboro, 59. 55 for White Pine, Talbot, Russellville, and Morristown. Hamlin County, 60 for Athens, McMinn County, and Roane County. Roane County and Kingston, Harriman, about 57. And if you're in Crossville, Cumberland County, some thunderstorms possible at 50 degrees. Now, no 66, a lot warmer in Nashville, 61 in Chattanooga. If you're traveling today, it's actually much warmer to the west. Even Augusta, Georgia may actually hit 70 today. Imagine 70 degrees. That'd be kind of nice for some. I'm sure some would enjoy that. More showers tonight. Storms are possibility, and temperatures are going to rise. So even though I have 51 as the low, you're going to wake up to it's probably 54 or 55, as we'll probably hit our low point in the evening hours between, say, 6 and 9 p.m. And then it starts to rise, and temperatures may either hold steady or rise, but that's my suspicion as far as the lows tonight. 50 for a low in Oak Ridge, 49 in Morristown. All of these would be early low temperatures for the evening, as temperatures are likely to rise in the overnight period. Now it's 7 o'clock. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. 57 Friday, 65 on Saturday. And ODS, 80% chance of rain. 61 on Sunday. I have kind of the heavier rain Saturday night, heavy rain Sunday night, and then we bring in some rain to some flakes of the horseshoe effect variety on Monday. Again, keep expectations low if you're in Knoxville. Keep them to 0, essentially, because if we drop to 38, you go, well, how are you going to get snow at 38? Probably not. Probably not. Might be a drop of rain, but I suspect in Crossville it'll be 32. Might even be 30 in Crossville. You mean they could be 8 degrees colder? They could. They could. And that's why I said temperatures for Knoxville will not be cold enough to support the snowshoe, horseshoe effect, as we like to call it. More sunshine, I think, returns, though, on Tuesday. Bright sunshine, and there it is. Love is in the air on Valentine's Day. You mean you could forecast? I could forecast that, sure. Love is definitely in the air on Valentine's Day. We'll start pretty cold at 29. I suspect there's more opportunities for drops and snowflakes on Thursday from a little Alberta clipper, a little system coming in from the northwest. So Thursday may also be a tad unsettled. If you're on the call, I want to say thank you for your time this morning. And it is now 7:01. It is the 9th of February. I got Michael Hawk on YouTube and on Facebook. If there's any new comments, Connie Rogers says she's on Team Snow. She says, bring it on. Very good, Connie. Thank you for that note. Carrie says, good morning. Have a fantabulous day. Ready for one more round of snow. The only one. What if we throw in a couple? That would be nice. I think that's certainly possible. And Wanda talking about the app. So, yeah, if you haven't downloaded my free Captain Accurate Weather app, it is available anytime. And it's had a nice update over the last couple of months. You get all the National Weather Service alerts. You get 3 extra special alerts from Barron that are life-saving in some cases, as we noticed from a tornado, EF2, that hit West Knox County last August. The twisting storm approaching alert was sounded off. It sounded off to many of my premium members who said to me, hey, yeah, I got the alert. But sadly, the National Weather Service didn't pull that trigger. It was a short-lived tornado, but it was enough to cause damage, as we know, on Yarnell and Lovell roads. But dangerous storm approaching is a precursor for a severe thunderstorm warning, and storms in your area are not issued by the National Weather Service, but rather from Barron, and that just gives you an idea that there could be a nasty storm or a strong storm within 25 miles of your location. These are very handy, and they're unique to the app. So you also get a BTI score that helps you know if there's a possible tornado. It gives you the probable. If it's a 7, 8, or 9 on your phone, and it says BTI, that would be a good time to get into your basement. But if it's a 2 or a 3, just keep an eye on it, because every passing sweep, every volume scan, as it's known, could actually enhance it, get stronger, just like waves at the ocean. Sometimes the waves get bigger, and they get smaller. They get bigger, and they get smaller. And that's the same way with a lot of these storms. They can get stronger or they could get weaker. So if you have a 2 or 3 on the BTI, that would be a good time to keep a watchful eye on it. By the way, this is free. You get lightning alerts as well. And also, we heard from Wanda, you're also the first to see my snow forecast if you join Captain Accurate Premium. Only $4.99 a month. And if you want to invest it for just 1 month, just get you through winter so that you can be in the know, be the first to know when it snows or before it snows. Check us out. It's very easy to access. You get the same information. You get 2 streams of information on the same Facebook page. You also have access to my winter weather outlook, which I believe from one of my premium members said, you're the only winter weather outlook that didn't bust after the first storm. Because I had a higher amount expected. And we still have a lot of winter left. So I like where I am in terms of that outlook. And if you'd like to see that 15-minute video, it's only on Facebook. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. I do hope you have a great weekend and stay dry. We'll see you here next time. Take care.